Hi you guys, welcome to the Spotlight.com. Today we have artist PLB Da Great with us. How you doing, PLB?
I'm good, I'm blessed.
Amen. Amen.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you do everything, so we want to know all about you.
I'm an artist as well. Of course, I do sing, I rap, I do a little bit of DJing. I'm still learning this side of production, graphic design, and mixing and mastering, recording artists, and also doing my own thing as well, working on the album. So I'm actually working on my first couple of songs. I have my first track is going to be Practicing Deception. I call it Practicing Deception because when you step out into the world as a minor, or should I say my age, 19, you see more people trying to be somebody that they're not. You know what I'm saying? But when they get around the base people, should I say base people, millionaires, the main people that they're always around, home, mother, father, they're never the same. They're usually like, yo, I'm cool, and there's nothing to do, I'm bored. But then when they get around their friends, it's a total different image. So it's a transition in lifestyle and trying to be somebody that they're not. So that's why I call it Practicing Deception. I call it Actions Without Reasons because every day, it doesn't matter if it's this Courtney, that Courtney, me, myself, or my manager, everybody in the world wakes up every day and does something, does an action, and doesn't realize why they did it, but they know why they did it, but they don't know at that moment why. So it could be something that they just are automatically accustomed to doing, they just get up and it's done.
Sitting here, listening to you talk, I'm listening, but I'm blinded by all these diamonds and Gucci and all this stuff. You said you're 19, I'm trying to be just like you when I grow up.
No, I'm blessed.
We want some Gucci.
I know.
I got a Taylor. I want to give a shout out to Miguel King, Mac, Jessica Jackson for supplying everything I need, everything I have. So, definitely to the fam and Prospect the legend, the manager, he stays on me, man. So
that's great.
PLB Da Great, it started when I was 13. I've been rapping and singing all my life. Since I was 5, my grandfather had his own church, and I used to sing in the church. But then I, started hearing my first song that I heard hip hop because I didn't get to listen to the radio all the time. I was a video game freak. But my first song was by Tupac, "What You Won't Do for Love," and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And the beat just hit me. I had my little vibe to it. It was real smooth. And PLB came from my actual name. My actual name is Parrish Lamar Brown. But I claim to be the great because out of my family and what I do, my craft, I cherish it. Hip hop is my wife. Hip hop is something that, it actually is a medicine for me to make it through the day. When I am depressed, it doesn't matter if I'm emotional, relationships, business, any downfall, anything that happens, positive, negative, that's how I express myself. My first performance was actually, it was at where was I at? My first performance was actually when I was at DIG. I was in foster care at the time. I was at a conference, Independent Living Program conference, and I won. It was actually the first thing I ever won. Seriously, it was. So
look, you
that's when I knew.
proud.
I do. I remember that day like it was, It was yesterday. And it's a blessing because I knew that this is me. So I claim it. I stayed up that night writing, and I was like, this don't sound right. I'm gonna take this back, and I'm gonna write something else. So I was up for like 5 hours. And my homeboys was asleep, and they was all doing their thing. And next thing you know, they called me to the stage, and I did what I had to do, and I got it. I felt good. So this is something that I live for. Music is life. Anything can happen. You have to have that perseverance. You have to have that want to, that hunger. It wasn't something that somebody made me do. It was something that I wanted to do because I know that it was for me. And it took me a while to realize it because I was very lazy with my talent. Don't get me wrong. I've never been that guy who's always been on it. But when I tapped into it and said, hey, I feel it now. This is what I'm here. Okay. And for another person in the situation that I'm in, it takes faith. It takes God first over everything, and it takes that humbleness. Because you're not gonna know everything. I don't know everything. Prospect doesn't know everything, but you have to slow things down, and you actually have to look at what you're doing. And then actually, I have to get to look within inside yourself and say, what, is this for me? Do introspection, self-examination, and then, I have to pray and, start your day off and let him lead you.
One thing I have to say, you sound very educated, and you think, when you think of rappers, you think, oh, this guy that didn't, go to school, you just want to go and be a rapper. Tell me a little bit about your style. What makes you a little bit different from the normal rapper?
What makes me different is the fact that I incorporate my actual real everyday life. Like, if it happened 2 days ago, I could make a song sound like it was a couple of years ago. I go back into my past with my, I had a rough past. I lost my family. My grandfather actually passed in September 2nd, 2000. My grandmother passed last year, March 2nd, 2010. But they adopted me. My mother and father's never been there. You know what I'm saying? So I've been the mother and father for myself, and not only for myself, it's been for other people too. You know what I'm saying? And foster homes, growing up with 7 other kids in one home, or 4 other kids in one home, and then I'm dependent on to do all the heavy duty work. And I still got school and I got a job trying to maintain myself. It was difficult, but it brought about responsibility, it brought about integrity, and it also brought about accountability. You can't live in this life without air, and that's what those 3 things are: the air for you to make it do anything. And one person that inspired me was it was several people, but I definitely have to say in my past it was my grandfather. My grandfather, he did everything. It didn't matter if it was cooking. He had that cane with him. He kept the keys to the Buick with him, which I do have a Buick as well. So it's just the correlation between the two. You know what I'm saying? He was a humble man, but he had lots of land. He gave people homes. You know what I'm saying? He gave back. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be known as giving back. I'm not a preacher, but I know a little bit about the word. You know what I'm saying? And what I do know, I definitely tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of it. I'm not ashamed of who I am. And I'm not ashamed of where I came from, because I know where I'm headed. You know what I'm saying? I know that bridge that brought me over. You feel me? That's the difference. And not many people, not many artists, you know what I'm saying, are willing to say that, because they're either ashamed or they're just, you know what I'm saying, they're living between the 2 lives that's not realistic. You know what I mean? And when you're not living, when you're not living who you are as a daily, then it becomes to be as if, what's the word? It's not two-faced, but you have 2 sides.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't live 2 sides because I got too much going on in my life. You know what I mean?
Thank you. You really surprised me. Like, you are very intelligent, very smart, very well spoken, and that's so good to see. I
do try. I would like to say dollar out of 15 cents, but because it's an anthem. I made that song because anybody, I don't care, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you're from, it doesn't matter what you went through, what you've been through, you know what I'm saying? And it's a motivation, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to, my motivation ain't the same thing as Kelly Rowland's, not degrading hers, because she has that perfect type of motivation, but just not for what I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking to inspire all minds. And I just need time to find a peace of mind, yeah. And I just needed time, yeah, to get myself right, so you could be in my life. And I just needed time, no, yeah. I don't know, it's just a little something. It's not much, but I do try.
Thank you so much. Is it a way to contact you if we want to,
Yes, I do have a Facebook. I do have a Twitter. Both of them are PLB Da Great. Contact information through phone would be on 256-323-3096. My contact email would be on plbdagreat@yahoo.com. I do have a business phone and a personal phone. My business number would be 256-604-3033. 256-604-3033.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us and giving us. No problem.
The spotlight.
The spotlight.
And on that note, thank you for tuning in with thespotlight.com once again.
Bye.